Tameshiwari translates to trial by wood. And for the most part, I've always seen it within a showmanship, McDojo-ish kind of situation. Something done in malls to attract students, a display of sheer machismo. But like my attitude towards tournament karate, I'm finding that this opinion needs to undergo some revision as I expand my understanding over time. In No Karate Do by Bryn Williams, he writes, "The body's various striking points can be backed by quite remarkable power, but this power can only be released when one has removed the fear of hitting something hard. Breaking is therefore a psychological as well as a physical ordeal, especially when performed in public. If one believes oneself capable of breaking the object, then one can release one's entire physical energies into the act. Any mental reservations inhibit the maximum use of power. Its successful execution gives self-confidence and self-knowledge." Masutatsu Oyama, sometimes referred to just as Masoyama sensei, writes about Tameshiwari in his book This is Karate. And he says, "Before we begin to explain the breaking of stones, bricks, boards, and other materials, which is accomplished through karate, we want to give the reader a correct understanding of just what these techniques are. At the very beginning, we want to emphasize over and over again that the breaking techniques are only a part, not all, of karate. They are no more than drill methods to be of help in progressing towards the true meaning of karate." And here he lists three, I think, very good points. 1. Karate's basic concept is an aim at human perfection through a firm grasp on the spirit of the martial arts. 2. At the same time, karate is of use in tempering the body. And 3. The basic meaning of karate lies in a pursuit of the true essence of techniques. The stone breaking and board breaking techniques are most pertinent to point 3, because they are special drill methods designed to be effective in probing to the real meaning of the techniques themselves. So, in Sensei Chinen's book, Okinawan Goju Karate, he talks about how Tameshiwari also started as a thing at festivals in the age before TV and Netflix and a million other entertainments. Much as we see now with, we have a modern day version with Ultimate Beastmaster and Ninja Warrior and any other kind of show where people are displaying their strength and their ability. So that's part of the origin story of Tameshiwari. Further on, in another book, Masoyama says in his book Essential Karate, "Tameshiwari is not a purpose of karate, but serves rather as a barometer of acquired strength and technique. It requires exceptional balance, form, concentration of spirit, and calmness. Undoubtedly, anything that requires relentless self-discipline and practice lends itself to honing the body and therefore has some value. After all, Hojo-Undo and Okinawan karate is entirely centered on strengthening the body through supplementary training, with equipment and some of which is homemade. It's not too much of a stretch to imagine that Tameshiwari started as that." Let's go on to the cons. Like many things, Tameshiwari is a tool that can be used for great self-improvement. But as observed by Salick Karate and Martial Arts, I'll put the link below, board breaking is at its worst when it's used by clubs to advertise with and for kids. And I quote here, "But again, and I hate to be a broken record here, my central disagreement with board and other breaking is the flawed message it sends to the adolescent mind. When instructors and parents shower praise upon a child for breaking little boards, what kid isn't going to want to reach for more? What do you tell them? That breaking little things for applause is okay, but breaking big things for more applause is really dumb? Good luck with that one." The human hand can only take so much damage, and this loops us back around to the same kind of damage done by ill-informed practitioners using makiwara. Big, calloused knuckles are cool in the same way that Gothic dragon posters are cool, when one is 13 and still easily impressed. We also know that damaging the growth plates at the end of bones will cause those bones to stop growing. These plates only close over at the end of puberty, and they must be protected as best as possible. With the knowledge available to the modern instructor, we need to do what we can to protect the health of our students, even when it means stopping them from doing what they think is cool stuff, like smashing super hard punching bags in makiwara. Overall, if someone wants to do Tameshiwari in their home, in their privacy of their dojo or their garage, and they're a trained and experienced student or instructor, and they do it under the supervision of a mentor, or preferably with a doctor, they'll probably be fine. I put a big caveat on that, because as we've seen, when it goes wrong, it goes horribly wrong. And I wouldn't want to be responsible for anyone trying this because they think it looks cool. But I would not recommend it for children, novices, and those really overzealous people who come to your dojo with the headband on and screaming "os" at every sentence or two. Those people probably should not be doing this kind of thing because they lack the focus and the control to make sure they don't hurt themselves. And especially children, because of, as we discussed, the growth plates in their hands get damaged, and you do not want to be liable for that as an instructor. The same concepts can be taught with sponge, punching bags, and makiwara with far less risk and far less damage. And considering the Dojo-kun tells us to take care of our health, that is the more responsible solution to creating power, focus, and technique. Staying safe and training for decades is much, much more important than a moment of glory. And like Sensei Chinen says, it should be done in private and no one should know how strong you are. So, at your own risk, try Tameshiwari. Look it up on the internet. There's thousands of videos. And gather your own thoughts and do your own research. But this is my research. This is what I've kind of found over the years and recently in doing research, especially with Sensei Masutatsu Oyama. He was a massive proponent. Now this book stays in its special cover. It was a very lucky find. This book stays like so. We don't even take it out because they're hard to find and replace. But anything by him is a great resource on this particular topic. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'd love your comments, your feedback, any experience you've had with Tameshiwari, and I hope to see you next week.